What's up guys, it is Victoria back again for another video, this week's Friday video, and I am excited because today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of apartment versus house, because I've lived in both officially and I just wanted to discuss it today. Maybe you're trying to decide whether to get an apartment with friends or a house with a bunch of friends for next year and you don't know, so maybe I can help you decide. So let's talk about it. First off, when you walk into an apartment, you have to have a key in order to actually get into the building first. That's not that huge of a hassle, seeing as you would have to do the same thing with a house, whereas you just unlock the door and walk into the house and that's it. But with an apartment, it takes a little bit more because you have to go into the door, unlock it, and then get on the elevator. It's not that much bigger of a deal than it is going into a house, because obviously you have to unlock a house door. But with an apartment, you have to unlock two doors, technically. Your apartment door and the building door. Not that huge of a thing, but it could be to somebody that doesn't want to have that slight inconvenience. I think the pros of a house is it's a lot more simpler to get into a house than it is to get into an apartment. It just takes a lot less time. You don't have to go up an elevator. You just have to walk into your house and go into your living space immediately. And with this, it's obviously different. The next thing is the neighbor situation. Obviously, as you know, in a house, you have the houses that are next to you, and in an apartment, you're obviously a lot more close-knit with the people around you. For me, there's a door directly across the hall, directly across from our door, right there, and then there's one down the hall. Like, there's a lot of units up here, you know, like we're all very close-knit. So it depends on how loud you want to be, on how rowdy you plan on being for the time that you're there. If you plan on being rowdy and loud and having parties, I don't suggest going into an apartment. But if you're more of a chilled out, relaxed, want to be quieter and calmer, go to an apartment, because you're going to find that atmosphere is really easy to find. You're not in like this loudy, rowdy area of town. Maybe you are, but it's outside and it's not in the building. That's at least my experience so far. I haven't had rowdy neighbors or craziness happening here. It's just been really nice and quiet. The con of trying to find an apartment, I just have to mention that is if you have a pet like I do, like obviously I have Theo, it was a little bit harder to find an apartment that was pet friendly rather than one that is just humans can be there. So it is a little bit more difficult to find ones that are just pet friendly and that allow everything into the building, because you have to have I have to have my dog with me. Like the con I find in living in an apartment is the constant maintenance that happens throughout the building, whether it's outside your window. If you guys watch my Snapchat, I had guys like standing like directly outside my window 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. Like, it was ridiculous, and they're just making noises and banging and being loud and doing their job. But I mean, and then the maintenance, I mean, they're always working on like your toilets and checking the fire alarms monthly, and there's just constant like letters at your door letting you know that they're working on things, letting you know that you need to get new keys, letting you know that they're gonna have the fire alarm test this week for this month, and it's just like constant stuff that they're letting you know is gonna be worked on. And I mean, there's just always something being done around the building. I mean, there's obviously maintenance and stuff like that, as I said, but it is what it is, you know, like pick and choose what kind of volume you want to have, whether it's construction or parties. I don't know. Next big difference is obviously the amount of space that you want to have. If you're up for having like this huge house that you want to have like friends over, or I don't even know, if you just want to have a bigger space, then obviously you're going to want a house that you share with other people. But if you're more so looking for something that is easy to clean and like smaller and closer knit, and you don't have as many people living with you, then yeah, get an apartment, because you're going to be a lot more closer knit and it's a lot more cozier and less to clean, and it's great. The con of living in a house was the amount of cleaning you had to do. Like, we had a cleaning schedule at my old house because there was just like so much to clean, from the kitchen to the bathroom to the floors. Like, there's always something to do. With here, there's a lot less. Like, we sweep when we do our bathroom and like our dishes regularly, and that's just not hard stuff to do. But when it's like this group of people trying to clean like this one larger space, it can be really inconvenient to try and create a schedule and trying to arrange that whole thing. The next thing I would say that's kind of a con is the laundry situation. When I lived in a house, it didn't cost me any money to pay for my laundry besides like the laundry detergent and stuff like that. But we had laundry at our house in the basement, and we just did our laundry and it came with our rent money. It was all inclusive. So you paid for the water and you paid for all of that. With this, you get a little card and it's called like coin something, and you put money on it and then you have to pay for your laundry. So it is more expensive to live because you are paying for your laundry, and that sucks in my opinion. I hate paying for laundry. I hate it. I hate doing it. It's just inconvenient. And plus you have to like go down the elevator with all of your laundry, and it just kind of sucks a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, it really isn't. But I mean, it's just like, if you don't want that extra inconvenience, then get a house. The next thing is kind of like the grocery thing, and it's the whole shopping situation. Like when we go grocery shopping, obviously when you went to a house, you pulled right in the driveway, the house was right there, and you just walk up into it, you have your groceries and you toss them on the floor. With this, it's a lot different. If you get a lot of things, obviously you have to haul it up in the elevator from the car to the building. Like it's kind of an event if you have a lot of groceries or a lot of things that you're bringing into the house. So that's a little bit slightly more inconvenient as well. But I think if it's like not a big deal to you, like it is not really that huge of a deal to me in Madison, then it's not going to be a big deal to you. But yeah, that's just like a thing that I've noticed that I've had to do. I think the final con of living in an apartment is the air conditioning situation because mama honey, it's hot in here. It gets real hot real quick, and I don't have the AC on right now so that you guys can hear me properly. And it's just like really not that fun. It's very hot and sweaty and gross. And obviously you have to pay for the air, whereas at the house you didn't have to, like, I didn't have to pay for that because it was all inclusive, and we got to control our air amount. We obviously get to control our air amount in here too, but it costs more because you're paying for heat and hydro and all of that kind of stuff. So yes, this sounds like more of an apartment rant video, but I guarantee you there's pros and cons to each one. I guess kind of throughout each thing I've mentioned what's good and bad about the situation that I'm talking about at the moment. One of the pros that I have found that is really awesome is the balcony. That is something that obviously I didn't have before. We had a backyard and that was awesome, that was nice. I had like a bonfire and pit fire or whatever. We barely ever used it. It wasn't something that like we did often whatsoever. We had a couple parties and a couple friends over, and that was it. But with this, you get a view of the sunset. I'm facing the east right now, and the sunset rises in the east and sets in the west, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I am in awe of the morning sunrise that I get to see and the sunsets that I get to see. They're absolutely astounding. That is something that I am truly, truly like weirdly, graciously blessed by, are these sunsets and sunrises, because they're just absolutely gorgeous and something that I wouldn't take back for the world. I think that living in an apartment for that mere reason is like incredible, and I would like highly suggest it. The space is absolutely incredible. I don't mind it for cleaning. I think it's really simple. There's no garbage day, which I think is awesome. At our old place, we had to take out the garbage bins to the end of the road for the truck to come and pick them up. And here, all we have to do is take them down the hallway into like a chute, and then go flying down 10 stories. And we don't have to worry about it after that. We just have to throw it away. And our recycling is right down by the cars, and we just have to take our recycling out, and it's like boom, 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 done. That's like one thing that we just don't have to worry about. It's great. We see the truck come, but we don't have to like worry about making sure it's down there. Like it just has to be down there because the people that work in the building do that. So that's really awesome. I love that. I love it because it's just a lot less of a hassle and a lot less of a responsibility. I honestly love the neighbory, like close-knit family type situation that I feel when walking into the building. I feel really at home. I feel like we all get along. We're all like, hey, how are you? How's your day? I'll have my dog obviously a lot, and other dogs come in and out all the time too. And so you end up talking about your dog and like talking about like how cute they are and like what they have in common and your lives like while going up the elevator. I think that that's super cute and super fun, and I always come home and tell Madison, oh, I met this person today, oh, I talked to our neighbor today, and it's just like this super cute little family that everybody just like gets along and talks, and because we all live in the same space and we want to all cohabitate together. And obviously you don't see the same people all the time. This is a very large building, but you do see like common people often. And you just grow to enjoy talking to them, enjoy spending like, you know, the 2-3 minutes a day that you get to have small talk. I feel like I had a lot more cons than I do pros, but I love living here. I guess that pretty much sums up the video. All I really wanted to do is talk like pros and cons of each and just like toss ideas up in the air, and that's all I can think of as of right now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a great big thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it so that I can make more videos similar. And if you like me, be sure to subscribe so that you see my videos on Mondays and Fridays, because that's when I upload, that's what's happening, that's what's going down. I promise. And I will see you guys on Monday. Peace. On the streets, son. No, I'm just kidding, I'm not. Bye.